We are ready to engage with anti-government forces, with the Taliban, in a dialogue on human rights, humanitarian issues, on protection of civilians. We need to deliver a change of the situation. We cannot accept that civilians are being killed by improvised explosive devices. We cannot accept that increasingly suicide bombers, including brainwashed children, are used to kill civilians. This is not an Islamic way how to treat brothers, how Afghans should treat Afghans.
In 2012, UNAMA documented 7,559 civilian casualties. This is 2,754 civilian deaths and 4,805 injuries, which is a very important part of the situation. This year, for the first time in 6 years, we recorded a decline in civilian deaths of 12%. This reduction in civilian casualties, in our view, comes from 4 things. First, ground engagements between the parties caused fewer casualties. There was a decline in suicide attacks by anti-government elements. There was a reduced number of aerial operations by international military forces, and there was measures taken by both the Afghan forces and the international forces to reduce harm to civilians. They actually made a change, we think, based on much of our efforts and the efforts of other Afghans to work with them to minimize civilian harm. Within this overall reduction, though, conflict-related violence increased as it affects women and girls. We saw an increase of 20% of women and girls killed in the conflict. And the sad reality is that they were killed and injured while going about their daily work, their daily business. One trend we noticed this year, which is disturbing, is that while the decrease in civilian casualties is very much welcome, civilians and civilian communities continue to be threatened, their lives, livelihoods, and well-being. And we attribute this to increasing threats associated with the presence and reemergence of a number of armed groups across the country.
با جزئیات یک گزارش بسیار جالب هست. تنها به اعلامیه‌های مطبوعاتی اتکا نکنین. تشکر از تشریف آوردید.